So to recognize certain students within the chamber orchestra, we'd like to go ahead and start this moment with our Outstanding Musicianship Award. And, you know, I tell all the students, this is a level 4 group, they're all outstanding musicians, and there are some who really do just take it and go, and sometimes their energy is abounding, but they use it through the instrument, and when they do, they're unstoppable. Outstanding Musicianship for Boy, Vince Buccini. Outstanding Musicianship for our girl, Tong Lee. Our Most Improved Musicianship. Boy, I have stories about him. They have stories about him. They have pictures with him. Nick Baker. Most Improved Musicianship, Allison Byerly. We have so many good leaders in this group, and of course they lead in so many different ways. So it sometimes becomes difficult, but honestly, having 2 leadership awards is the no-brainer when they lead in very different ways, with different personalities, but still are leaders of the group. Purna Srinivas. Definitely the Excellence Award does go to someone who's a fine musician, a fine orchestra member, an amazing person. Our Excellence Award goes to Spencer Marin. We actually had several officers in this group, so I'll do the whole group and we'll recognize them. Again, voted by their peers, doing an exceptional job. We have officers every year, of course, and I'm never disappointed. They're fantastic. So let me recognize Rutha Beebe, Allison Byerly, Brittany Grant, Perry Jacobs, and Purna Srinivas. We did have several students make All-Region Orchestra, and I would like to recognize from our Beethoven Orchestra, violinist, Christine Park. Please stand up. I'd also like to, from the Bach Orchestra, All-Region, Christine Zhang. Make the Bach Orchestra, who is actually our concert master or first chair of the All-Region Bach Orchestra, Varun Sakhan. We too went to UIL. Again, the thing that I think is really interesting is that, yeah, sure, we go in front of 3 judges during a concert portion and they received all 1s, but the thing about UIL I think that's interesting is the sight reading portion that both the advanced and chamber had to go through, and they have a 7-minute time frame to learn a new piece of music. And to be quite honest with you, for me as an educator, that is where the challenge is. If you've taught your students right, they should be able to read that music, be independent musicians, and if they do that right too, they should actually leave the stage and be able to do it anywhere. And both groups, of course, advanced orchestra did great, but chamber orchestra, again, straight 1s for our sight reading competition for overall sweepstakes. Congratulations. In just a moment with our full orchestra, but we did go to our Peak Festival, Music Festival, at the beginning of May with this group combined with the Symphonic Band, or their level 4 group and band, competing as a full orchestra. The way orchestra should be. No, I'm just joking. But to have all those timbres together with strings, woodwinds, percussion, brass was fantastic. And they got all 1s as well. But I do want to recognize them. I will also recognize the full orchestra when they come here, but would you recognize them for their performance and part in that? without further ado, Vanguard Overture. So every year, the officers like to do something. I always tell them they don't have to do it. I really do tell them that. And they're always thoughtful, and I know they get the rest of the orchestra involved in some things. But at this time, I want to call up any officer from intermediate advanced, or chamber to the stage. I do know that they have some things they'd like to do and say, and I know we've talked about keeping it a little bit brief this year, but still with some good intent. So I'd call up everybody at this time. All officers, please come on up here. So I'll bring you all up. If you'd like to step on the steps or be over here, however you'd like to be, or yes, you can walk around. That's fine.
Good evening. Although we only met Mr. Bird this year, I think many of us can say that Mr. Bird has not only been with us following his music, but he has become part of the orchestra family.
Okay. We know Mr. Bird hasn't been with us for that long, but he had a great impact on our music and our orchestra. So thank you for flying with us, Mr. Bird.
I know I'm not just saying this from me, but from the whole orchestra family. We appreciate everything that you have done for us and taught us. You are our orchestra teacher the third. Thank you, thank you, thank you, dear Mr. Bird.
Good evening. Mrs. Nations has been my orchestra director for 2 years. When I first met her, I knew she looked familiar. She was my elementary school music teacher, student teacher. Before she came Mrs. Nations, we had a joke called Bad But Fair. I would just be crazy like usual. Most people find orchestra boring, but me, I find it exciting. Mrs. Nations has come and brought this orchestra together. To me, orchestra is like a family. You have Landon, or dad, Mrs. Barrett, mom. It's what makes us a family. Being in a room full of people, crazy people, really helps you realize you can be accepted, and that is what orchestra is all about. Mrs. Nations has her softness and but she can teach you discipline. We all have our ups and downs, but Mrs. Nation always knows how to make you feel better, whether it's talking to you, making jokes, or just saying your music sounds like people fire. It always makes you feel better. She walks an orchestra and the room lights up. She is one of my favorite teachers. Staying after school every day with my friends and the best teachers in the world is like a gift. As this year comes to an end, I can safely say it's been the best year so far. We have so many memories in one room, it's crazy. That makes you think. As I move on to high school, the memories with me are carried on forever. Thank you for being an assistant orchestra director. With the lessons you've taught me, I know I will go on to do great things. Thank you.
Mrs. Nations, even though this is my second year here at Hendrick in an orchestra, I have had fun with you as our assistant director. You have cracked jokes and made us improve our skills. I am looking forward to having another year in orchestra with you here. Next year will be action-packed with adventurous tales, but this year's 8th graders will miss out. I hope there will be crazy, but not too much of it. When I first saw you in the orchestra room, I was the most confused I could have ever been. Who is this person, I thought? What is she doing here? Then Mr. Lynchman introduced you, and I was a little bit calmer, but still on edge and wondering if you were me. Now that I have gotten to know you, and having information that you're amazing, you will make next year and every year after special. It will be very hard for me to get used to your new name, even though I have successfully been calling you Mrs. Nation so far. I still need to get used to it. When you conduct us, you're in the middle of being direct and being soft. When you tell us it's just a matter of focus, you snap into playing mode. You get us from taking the song out to playing it at our best concert. We all know you are proud of us, because you tell us almost every single time we finish playing our songs. But you should also be proud of yourself for helping us come this far in a short period of time. I am very sure that I will miss you and Mr. Lynchman, and will surely cry when I get home from school on the last day of school next year. At UIL, I know we'll get straight ones with you there conducting us. Thank you for being an amazing teacher for our orchestra classes.
Hello guys, my name is Neil Srivastava, and I'm one of the advanced officers. This is my last year at Hendrick, and also my last year with Mrs. Nations. She won't be my director anymore, but as that may be, hopefully next year I'll be able to see you when the next 8th graders, like Daniel, will come to Mo. Mrs. Nations is definitely a main part of this orchestra. I mean, besides the fact that she's a director, she also pretty much brings this orchestra together. She's one of the best orchestra directors ever, but even though they're teachers, they don't feel like it. They're more like family. You may not know that in the morning she works at Robinson as an orchestra director as well, and even though we don't like sharing her, we have so much fun when she's at Hendrick. As a director, she's amazing. She's relaxed, fun, well-disciplined, crazy even. But when you're teaching us, it's a little hard to go insane. Although she might have faults, but I doubt it. In our eyes, she's perfect.
Hi, I'm Fiona, and Mrs. Nations is our director. She's so wonderful. She's like one of the coolest directors I've ever had. I can relate to her because we have that bond. Come on, relate to her. Yes. You mean the world to me because you're the nation. Get it? And I'm going to up here, and I'm going to miss you when you go to good. And thank you for making me a very strong, independent person.
Okay, I can definitely say that one of my favorite parts of my middle school career would be the whole orchestra experience. I've made so many great memories and met so many great people, even some of my closest friends. But in particular, I'd like to appreciate one person who I believe has impacted everyone in this room in one way or another. Mr. Langevin is the perfect combination of teacher and friend, and he makes us laugh and smile and want to be better, as musicians and as people. 3 years ago, I couldn't pick up a violin. I didn't know the power of 5 pieces of tape as an entire